Lo and behold, I get the notification 2 weeks ago. Yep, your grant's approved, and you have to spend every single dime of it, and it has to be spent by July 29th. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
damn.
yes. But the crazy thing is that in October, I totally wrote out I ordered a truck down to the specs and what I wanted. And it was just sitting there hanging out in my email and get the truck ordered.
One thing I used to do and still do, this is literally just filled with affirmations, dating
Wow.
all the way back to 2018. So, I'm a 300 visit per week chiropractor. What is the year? I'm a 450,000 per year chiropractor. Like, this is my collection goal for the year. Like, and
Wow.
100 new patients in a month. And I would just write this over and over and over again and just fill the whole damn thing with goals that I had. And I'll tell you what, everything that's written down here back to 2018 has come true. What the hell's going on out here? Welcome to Fueled by Spite, everybody. Seneca, we've known each other, 6-ish, 8-ish months, give or take.
Yeah.
I told him, like, hey, I'm starting a podcast. And the reason, like, I didn't bring it up to everybody who comes in here, right? But it seemed like every time we met, you were sharing wins.
Oh.
Hey, I put in this bid.
Yes.
And they're not tiny bids. Like, putting in bids to move hospitals to, what was it Qatar, Dubai, something?
Yeah, it was during the World Cup.
Yeah.
Doha, Qatar. Mm-hmm.
And how many people are in your business?
It's 5.
5 people.
Yes.
And we're sitting here in a suburb of DFW and just, hey, I'm going to put in a bid to be a mover across the country. Across the world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
World is a little bit bigger than country.
Yeah, like 9-hour time zone difference where we're trying to negotiate this contract.
And you're just, every time you came in here, you're sharing these wins. And they're not wins in the traditional sense of, hey, I achieved this thing, which, I mean, obviously you shared those too.
Yeah.
But just, pardon the expression, just to have the lady balls to be like, hey, I'm going to put in a bid with my five-person company that I started how long ago?
2 years.
2 years ago.
June 9th made it 2 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is currently June 13th.
Yeah.
Happy 2-year anniversary.
Thank you.
5-person, 2-year-old company led by a woman.
Yes.
Who had her dream job taken away from her.
Yes, I did. And believe me, I was pissed.
No shit.
Believe me. I just knew, I was so burned up by it. I didn't even see how something else could be in play for me. But so what's happened now is every time there is a closed door, if you will, or if there's a change in direction or even an opportunity like this, I run towards it. I run towards that fire because of the unknown. That's what's kept me going. It's like, and there've been wins like me, like I'm looking at my, it doesn't add up, the things that are happening for us, and I'm a Navy veteran, my husband's an Army veteran. And so we're like used to going in and tackling challenges, but something like, when the rug's pulled up from under you, it's a lot different. But my team is just as fired up, about it. And so we do so many different moves on so many different scales, working for the elderly, helping, grandma, and grandpa move into like a 1-bedroom from their 5-bedroom house,
right?
Moving, people from Grapevine down to near their son in San Antonio. It's been so rewarding doing this work that sometimes when it's time to move, all your friends like back away. They're like,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, to this in this day and age, I am now one of those friends. Like, I cannot be bought with beer and pizza anymore. Like, I just call it, hey, you want to help me move with beer and pizza on my folks? My folks gave me their credit. It'd be something like that. Like, I'm not that guy anymore. Like, I mean, hell, I just moved into my wife and I, our first house just over a year ago. I hired movers. It was fantastic. It absolutely was. And actually, too, that being said, like, fucking moving sucks.
Yeah.
What's the name of your company?
A Simple Organizing and Moving Company. That's it. It's simple.
What a great name. Like, as much just garbage goes into like packing and moving, and it's like getting just everything from point A to point B. Do we need this? Do we throw this away? Or you get back to the new place, like, why do we bring this here? Let's just throw that away. Like, just the amount of, again, no pun intended, garbage that goes into it. And then I'm just quick little like Google search, Facebook search. I'm like, the name of her company is Simple.
A simple organizing and moving company. And when we
It's
do our
awesome.
when we do our presentations, we're like, you've heard of Kiss It. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
We say sweetie, but some people
Fair.
say keep it simple, sweetie.
Uh-huh.
And it's like the first thing is call us. Call us. Let us help you through the detail. Like the 1, 2, 3. It's what we're gifted at. It's what we love to do.
And this started because you were taking up and putting down some chairs at church.
Yes. Yep. That, I always knew the organizing, it was a challenge. That challenge of nobody's house is the same. No company is the same, but it's that same fire of, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It just makes sense to us. So we love it.
Odd question. How good are you at Tetris?
I like Tetris, but my operations managers and my son, they love it. My son is one of those Rubik's Cube kind of people that you give it to him and in 1 minute it's done.
Yep.
Decluttering, that's just our thing.
Yeah.
We just like it. And so, well, there's movers that like the Tetris and stacking, the truck. Then there's the organizers that are like helping. Do you really need that? That's expired. This is what's clutter, for you. And so we love it.
How many unread emails do you have right now?
Oh, God. Are you talking about Gmail, the junk mail? Or are you talking about business?
Business mail.
Oh, no.
Not a one.
No.
That's fantastic.
No. I feed off those. And then my husband's like, are you going to clock off? I'm like, working for yourself is like harder than working for anyone else.
100%.
Yeah. Because when do you get off? You don't.
Yeah. Period. At the end. I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, you're 2 years in business. I'm going to be passing 10, but it's the same thing. Like, you can't clock off. You can't. I mean, I don't know where I heard it. Somewhere along the lines is like, entrepreneurs are a special breed simply because they're the only people who will work 80 hours a week just to avoid working 40 hours a week.
I've never heard of that.
Tell me it's wrong.
But it's probably
no, right? No. Like it's.
I make myself not work Sundays. I make myself, and sometimes even my guys are like, "We could take that on Sunday," and I'm like, "Only if I don't have to work too." That's the only
Just
way.
Report back.
Yes. So that's the only day that I like make us cut off. But other than that, we're growing, and it's been a lot of fun.
What's been the hardest part about growing? Was you understand that you're 2 years in, and you're just, again, like, it's so cool that you're just throwing out just, hey, they need a bid. Cool. I'll give them one. Hey, this person needs a bid. Cool. I'll give them, hey, this person's across the world. They need a bid. Got it. Like,
probably not. I think the hardest thing is nobody taught you this. You're just doing it and you're figuring it out, and you're going blind into, in a certain sense, going blind. I think my master's degree in management helped me with knowing how to do, servant leadership and, bringing the water and helping, my team to function and do the things that they need to do efficiently. But, I didn't just dream, there are certain things that you come across as an entrepreneur that you don't know, like building capital, or building capacity, I should say. You know what I mean? Like networking and which people to network with to grow.
Yeah. I mean, there's a really good chance when you start your business that you don't know anybody.
And I moved here, so I didn't even go to high school here. I don't have like, homies back, from when I went to junior high, right? To like tell people about what we're doing. It's like, okay, I'm going to this brand new place and I just have to make it happen, and it's like, but that's the fire that I run to, and I'm like, hey, I'm just putting it out there. This is what we're doing. I totally believe in our quality product, and boom, I just continue to do it over and over. But the hard part is not knowing and stepping into that faith, stepping into, it's like Indiana Jones. It's like, the Temple of Doom, where it's like, you have to step over the hot coals. And it's like, if I step, I don't know. So that is the hard part. That is not knowing, the putting it all together as a business owner. But what I'm learning is that the bigger and bigger that I dream, I think that God will just give me exactly what I need for that moment. And as long as I stay measured in the sense, and I know Qatar is like huge, right? But I have someone on my team that speaks Arabic, that speaks French, that's like, oh, my dad can translate that for us and we can, and I'm like, yes.
Oh, all right.
So it just, so I'm not afraid of that, through doing that for University of Texas, A&M. And I just feel like it's part of going to it, but the not knowing isn't stopping me.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just, that's the hard part for me, being that type A.
Yeah.
Like, I want the instructions and I want them now. Tell me how to do it. And it's like, oh nope, you make the
Yeah,
instructions.
they don't exist yet. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
That's hard.
You had another huge win. Have a couple weeks ago. What happened?
I have been going for this grant for 2 years, like ever since the business came into existence. I knew that there was a grant through Texas Women's University, and they have a women entrepreneurship program. Well, I applied for it, and I was like, oh, I just want to just help me get this trailer,
Right.
For the truck. It didn't. We didn't get accepted. There were so many people that applied. Then the second year, well, the first year was the truck. The second year was the trailer. This year it was, I'm ready to get a box truck. I'm ready to get even more capacity. Get on the road. Lo and behold, I get the notification 2 weeks ago. Yep, your grant's approved, and you have to spend every single dime of it, and it has to be spent by July 29th. And I'm like,
oh damn.
Yes, but the crazy thing is that in October, I totally wrote out I ordered a truck down to the specs and what I wanted. And it was just sitting there hanging out in my email, and get the truck ordered.
One thing I used to do and still do, this is literally just filled with affirmations, dating all the way back to 2018. So, I'm a 300 visit per week chiropractor. What is the year? I'm a 450,000 per year chiropractor. Like, this is my collection goal for the year. Like, and 100 new patients in a month. And I would just write this over and over and over again and just fill the whole damn thing with goals that I had. And I'll tell you what, everything that's written down here back to 2018 has come true. Every single one.
What?
In spades. So the thing that you've been doing for 2 years, like it just came true. We always hear about, it's whatever you feed your head, right? It's whatever you put in here, right? You make your own reality, you make your own environment. Yep. So you feed it good things, you feed it the goals that you want to have, the things you want to achieve. Coincidentally, it seems like those things seem to happen. Your email is proof. Hey, I was just dabbling and I ordered a truck. Sorry about this representation. This is a terrible impersonation. But yeah, I just put together these specs on a truck. This is something that I would like to have. Poof.
Yeah. That give me goosebumps.
That's fine.
But
there's a lot of goosebumps in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's funny. Mine was more like digital, but you're like writing it down, like old school.
I mean, whether it's pen and paper, whether it's keystroke and on an email, it's all coming from here. Yeah. Like somebody told me one time, like everything, I don't know if someone told me or if I read it or whatever, everything that has ever been created, everything that you and I know as far as existence is concerned, started in somebody's head. This building was once a thought. Your moving truck was literally it was once a thought, right?
Yeah.
Everything that's out there started in a mind.
I told my husband, I said, you know how sometimes people that have been affected by the justice system and they're incarcerated, they come up with these amazing artistic drawings and you're like, wow, why couldn't they do that when they were out? Why are they so now so crafty to turn a spoon into a shank or whatever it is? All of that ability, they couldn't do that then. Why? Because outside there's so many distractions. There's so many things that get in the way of us tapping into our most creative and powerful selves.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh, I'd rather be on my phone. I'd rather, go out skating. I'd rather, whatever. And when you have time, I said they're in their own form of meditation.
Oh
That's
my
what
God, that's awesome.
happens. You're in your own form of meditation. Now, you might not want to be there,
Right?
but what happens is when you're in your own form of meditation, that is where the artistic, the most creative, the most inspired self comes out. I've been reading this book called Mind Hacking.
Okay.
By Sir John, I can't remember, Hargrave.
Okay.
Yes, and it talks about that. You start out, and when you talk about the concept of paying attention, you're actually spending your time as money. It's either your money or your time, right?
Yep.
So that's where he talks about drawing that in to yourself. And that's where a lot of times my most creative things come out.
I see you every 2 weeks. What's going on? Here's a win, here's a win, here's a win. 2 more weeks. Here's a win, here's a win, here's a win. Like, it was interesting that, hey, I've got this thing. I'm going to be out of town, but I want to set up your podcast interview this here for when I come back. So what have you been doing? You've literally just been doing and sharing with me the things that you're doing as fast as you can. I go to this thing. It was over in Scotland. Wow. You're going to the other side of the world. I went a quarter of the way there. And this guy goes, hey, why do you have a timeline? Why don't you just do things as fast as you can? And then we come here. Like, it's just this weird little serendipitous, coincidental thing. Seneca, what have you been doing? I don't, just everything as fast as I can.
I was never like, I come from, my mom was a single parent, and we did have my stepdad. We just, the way that funds are managed, or even where you're taught about financing, it's like, okay, you do this and then you pay this off, and then you do this and then you pay this off. And I'm thinking, if I have a team of 5 people, I'm never going to be able to pay all of their whatever off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Payroll is ongoing.
Yes. That doesn't end. It's not like, okay, thanks for, moving all that stuff. Now you're done getting paid. It's like that. It doesn't work that way. It's a different flow with business.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, how, managing that from being like this real person to, I have my move, entrepreneur cape on, and it's like, I just fall flat. It's like, that's a lot of zeros. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know. Even now, the money that's coming in or the contracts that we're negotiating, I mean, these are like $800,000 a year.
Bah.
And I'm like, me?
Right?
I don't know what that kind of money looks like. But I'm going, well, but when it's spread over, a team of 5 and I'm 6, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That seems okay. That seems more. I get that in a truck, and
yeah, and then also you factor your overhead in there and everything like that, and then
it goes. Then those zeros don't seem so intimidating.
What do I want to do here? Surprise, surprise. So I do almost like a rapid fire kind of thing. I don't do this every time, but I've found a couple of these. I always look for just good questions. And I want you just to kind of give me just basically kind of the first thought that pops into your head.
Okay.
Because like that is one thing, like with, you kind of said it, we're going into the unknown. I like these because I feel like they're suited for entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. They're suited for people who go into the unknown, right? Because it's like, well, I want to know everything beforehand. No, you don't get to. I want to know the rules. I want to know how this works. No, you don't get to. You got to make it up as you go along. Yeah. But so that being said, is there anyone that you would ever trade places with?
Yes, I would, for a day, I think, just to know. Oprah.
Okay, fair.
Okay. I mean, hey,
Oprah rich.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be somebody.
It's Oprah. Yeah, it's like, okay. What's your guilty pleasure?
I like being by myself and into a nice board game or Uno game or some type of game. I just like to be by myself. Sometimes I feel guilty about that because I'm such an extrovert, but
best compliment you've ever gotten?
I like your quads.
Nice. That's cool. Go for it. Hell yeah. Something you wish you were better at?
I wish I was better at multitasking.
There's always shit that needs to be done.
I know. I know. I want to do it even better.
Yes. Man, you're not wrong. Okay. What's an idea that you think most people get wrong?
I think really looking at finances as a limiting factor. is something that people get wrong. Because in the world of finance, it's always like you're a homeowner, but really, do you own that house?
I don't own mine yet.
It's just the status
Yeah.
that someone else has put on you. So that's what I'm breaking out of, is the status of being a business owner. And I go, okay, well, I just own this thing. But in the world of finance, there's so much, there's the universe out there. You just have to know how to manage your resources well.
And that's something like it really, and I still struggle with it from time to time, is the fact that like as like a W-2 employee, you know what your paycheck is. Yes. And more often than not, it's always going to be the same thing. Sometimes, in the world of entrepreneurship and business ownership, sometimes you run a pretty tight margin. It's getting pretty thin. Sometimes there's plenty of cushion in the bank, right? But there's always more money coming in. Yep. And it's a wonderful feeling. Don't get me wrong, but it's a weird thing. Like if you look at a number and like, that's not as much as I wanted to, but then also to know like it's going to keep coming in. And in all reality, and this is one of the blessings of entrepreneurship, in my opinion, is you can always make more money. Like if I wanted to, and I want to, but if I really absolutely positively gun to my head needed to double my income, I could go do that today. And every one of us, like, gun to your head, hey, you need to take that 800 and make it 1.6. But you could. Yeah. Absolutely could. Like you might, okay. Yeah. This is going to take a lot, but at the same time, like, you fucking could. Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of a cool feeling, like to know, like, for all intents and purposes, there are no constraints. Yep. But with no constraints comes no safety net.
Again, stepping over those hot coals.
What's one thing you wished I had asked you or brought up that I haven't or didn't?
Who's my biggest support?
Who's your biggest support?
My husband.
How long you guys been married?
Oh, goodness. For 17 years.
17? That's awesome. Yeah. Did you guys get married in the service, then I take it?
I was right out of the Navy.
Okay.
So, yeah. And he is like, I think he's been like the reason why I feel so emboldened to do the things that I do. Literally, like Tupac trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. That's he holds down the 15 cent and I figure out the dollar.
That's awesome.
Like I'm like, okay, babe, you got the 15 cents? It's $1, and it's like, it's just, he's like that, what I mean? Like he's just my rock in that way. And I think that safety net that we're talking about is that community, that when stuff hits the fan, your business, it's the flooding or whatever, your people understand it. You're not always going to get it right 100% of the times. I've messed up and not sent out estimates for moves that people have gone out. I'm like, oh my God, how did I do that? And they're like, it's all good. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it moving. Things happen, and it's your people that gather around you. And that is what becomes your safety net when you got the right people that truly believe in you.
That's true.
Yeah.
So how do people out there find you?
Oh, easy. Glad you asked. Well, our website, simpleoam.com. They can call 817-564-4474. That's our jingle. And we're on Facebook, Instagram, and
what's your handle? What's your handle on Instagram?
At Simple Move.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Seneca, I really appreciate the time. And honestly, like the reason that you're here is because all you did, you just kept sharing wins. And I love that. Like it's cool. Don't stop doing that. Like literally, like people, as we talked before, I don't even remember if the record button was on, but like it's fun to hear wins. I mean, not everyone's going to want to hear it. The thing I was at this weekend, one thing that they said, which is kind of put a chuckle or smile on your face, is like, you're not going to please everybody. Somebody hated Gandhi so much that he killed him. Like, oh, well, shit. When you put it like that, it's like,
damn.
Right?
Right.
But yeah. It's like, keep sharing wins. It was awesome to hear. I do look forward to it every single time you come in. Everyone out there, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you watching. Like I tell you every time, you will learn more here by accident than elsewhere by design. Right here, fueled by spite. Like, share, tell your friends. Seneca, I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.